You're listening to Celeb Stopover on your favorite station. My name is Ife Ajagbe, and today I have somebody that is very interesting, a key player in the industry, in the entertainment industry, actually. This guy, is an OG, if you like to call him that, and is somebody that has contributed immensely to the industry. He has worked very extensively with more hits. And of course, he also went ahead and worked with the band for a longer period of time than working with more hits, actually. His name is Bankulli. He likes to be called Bankulli Osha because he has an Osha brand. So, Bankulli, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me. Bless God that I'm here. Let's kick it.
Okay. Okay, the honor is mine. So, Bankulli, I don't know if I've actually told you this, but congratulations on your nomination at the Grammys.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of us.
Yes, and of course, also we hope that the next one you're going to win.
Amen. And Africa, or anybody selected as a representative from Africa,
would win, just like Angelique Kidjo did, right? Okay, so let's talk about, a lot of people already probably know, your journey in the industry, the fact that you've contributed largely with your vocals, with your hustle, with the grind, with your talent management skills to a number of artists' career in the industry. So now, based on the fact that you are, a talent manager, a music executive in the industry, moving forward, what do you think that artists still need to get right?
Wow, that's a very beautiful question. I think the first thing that I will recommend that artists try to get right is education about what they are getting into. As you know, you are a broadcaster, and of course, you have an innate talent for, speaking right. Of course, you read novels, right? And probably you studied mass communication. So you have a kind of direction and purpose to what you really want to be. It is always, opposite when it comes to music. Music is always about first the feeling, the vibe, then, oh yes, we knock one beat, then the beat become blue. I don't become artist. Like that, they don't really have education about what they are really getting into, because it is actually music business, meaning it is like every professional business that you can think of, oil and gas, farming. I mean, I'm talking of mechanized farming. I'm talking of, being an insurance, being a banker, and what have you like that. So music itself is business. It's not a joke.
There's a constant headache I have. I don't know how it can be cured, and I don't think it's a paracetamol problem. Every time an artist sends me music, there's always a problem. I'm not even talking about whether the music is interesting or not. I mean, that's the last on the line. That's not even the challenge. The challenge is either you send me music and just dump it, like you just send an audio file, and that's it. And this audio file is probably not properly labeled. So that's like, I'm supposed to figure out what the title of your song is, what the name of the artist is, who are you? Who the heck are you?
Like I said, I'm going to answer this question in two ways. I am very sure that those people that do that a lot are those artists that do not have solid representation in terms of they don't have a management, or they don't have somebody that is helping them with their music release. And like I said, also, it all boils down to education. For what I've known all over the world, nobody tells an artist how to present your music to radio stations. You find out through who? You find out through people that will release your music to you. And there's something they call label services. Label services are supposed to be the people, the intermediary between an artist and the radio stations and the TV stations. Hence, they have that name, label services, meaning they take your music to the right set of people that need to have it so that your name and music can be projected out. Now, remember I said there are two kinds of people that can, that sends music to you. Artists that do not have representation. I'm sure other bigger artists, including me, upcoming artists, when I send my music to you, it was well, articulated. There's press release, there's a link, there's audio, MP3, and there's a flyer so that, you have choices, how you want to go about it. Of course, embedded files too, or WAV, depending on how the request may be, like I always say, if you have those kind of representation, you have good representation, you have label service, you have artist manager, and people that put your music out, you may not have that kind of problem. It is well articulate in a well-confined email message to you. Hi, Mrs. Ife, we're releasing this is the profile of everything goes smoothly. But when they do not have all those representation and they just stumble on your email, then you should expect that. But I believe, this kind of forum, this kind of discussion that we are having now, that we are talking about it, some of them are here now, they're listening to it. That it matters when you're presenting your music to radio tasters, especially radio stations. You have to articulate what you are selling or what you are putting to because they need your music too. For those that have proper representation, their A&Rs and people that service their music, they always reach out to radio ops or radio stations that, we have a new song, can I get your email? They put it out, do you need anything? Okay, can you schedule an interview or what have you? And, the whole process is much more relaxed and much more easier for you. So that for you, that is very close to, to the artist in a way, in terms of what you listen to, you will do less job. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can't get to radio station in the morning and start putting all their songs together for them.
From the album, I know that you had your vocals on about 3 of the songs.
Yeah.
3, 4, and 21. Yeah. So we'll do Other Side right now. Yeah, that's Beyonce featuring Bankulli. Bankulli repped us well, so I'm super. When I was listening to the song, I was like, "Oh, this is sweet. I'm proud of it."
Thank you. Hey, yeah.
There was a day somebody hit me up. I think it was on Facebook. And the person said, "Oh, I'd like you to play my music." I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Send a press kit to this email address." And the person says, "What is a press?" No. The person didn't say what was a press kit. The person said, "I use Yahoo Mail, and the email address you have given me is Gmail. So what do I do?" And I'm like, "It's going to go through. Just send the mail." So you see, we still don't have a problem yet, right? And then I see a mail, truly, from this person. So the mail went through, yes. And I opened the mail and I saw press kit typed in capital letters. I'm not joking. Honestly, I am not joking. And there was no attachment, nothing else, just press kit typed in capital. I was, when you just look and say, what do you do? Where do you start explaining? What do I explain to this person? Because you approached me to say you wanted to send a song. So why do you just type and not send anything? I don't understand it. Okay, so there's also the part where people sending music that was probably not properly saved after it was produced. So maybe it's not an MP3 file or something. And so you just realize that the music cannot be played by any player, any software in your system. So I don't know.
Can I help you? What you don't have,
please.
What you don't have, you cannot give.
Okay.
I think you guys should also try to help yourself. If somebody reach out to you that I want to send you a music, say hold on, because it is always a general question. Give me your email address and forward the requirement. Or what you can do is this. There is a way you can set up your email address that if anybody send you email, especially when it comes to music release, when they send in the mail, the response will be the requirements they need to send to you. So they are going to send a second email. Your auto response will be the requirements that you need, that it is standard. So afterward, so what you've basically done is you've reduced headache from yourself. You've reduced going back and forth. Instead of 5 emails before you get it right, you have just 2 emails. I think that is much more easier, auto reply with the standard requirement, because that kind of person, maybe probably you have a dedicated email. I know they always use dedicated email address for that. Like Ife Ajagbe at music submission, but auto response is what respond to those kind of people. Then you have your regular emails for other businesses you do. There's going to be you have more of new, arriving artists that is trying to get their feet, in the game, They are much more. They are much more in numbers than the ones that are established. The one that are established too, they've gone through all those, all those serene too, back in the days. But they've been able to figure it out. They know how it is done. They know how to go about it. But for the new ones, because they come as Trojans, I can understand how you feel. They will bombard you. They will ambush your emotion, everything. You are not supporting upcoming artists, new artists, and stuff like that. Which to them it's a valid point. But for you that knows that for radios have standard. You understand? I don't even say I have a lot of friends in radio. I don't say because they're my friends or whatever relationship we have. Because of that, I won't send my song to them. I will say I assume. No, I don't do that. No, I respectfully pick your email and send and put everything because I know what it is.
When Mohit split up, you looked like you took sides. You decided to stay with the band. Why did you make that decision? What did you see?
It's like I'll put the response in this way. Yes, I can understand people's, a lot of people have a lot of questions to ask about the situation at that time. But for me, because the company is no longer existing and I don't want it to look as if you ask a question and I cannot respond to it. So basically, I'll put it in this way. Imagine you working in a company and the company was going to split into two. And what's particular to you at that time is your job as a presenter to this company. If the presenting aspect of the company is still functioning, I believe you will still wake up and come back to your job. Well, despite the fact that the company is crumbling. And even if it is crumbling until they give you a letter that, please, do not come to work again, then you know that, it is high time I start looking for how to cover my head or how to find something else to do. You understand what I'm saying, Whatever happened between them at that time, I believe hopefully one day God will make them both come out to explain to us. But for now, you understand, and at that time, I found myself in a situation where we all need still to be working. And we kept on working until, the company refused to be no more.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you mean now. I see what you mean. You've been doing this all your life. You've been a talent manager for a very long time. Like 20 years, as much as 20 years?
Yeah. Over. Probably. I started with plugging music, plug music. I remember the first vocals I did was on Ijoya. Toom. Slowly. So I remember I was in one of those sessions in London with JJC. Yeah, I was on that song. I did backing vocals on that song.
Please. And please, I have a question. For you. I know that you get royalty from you. You're probably going to continue getting royalty from.
Don't forget, there was no royalty from all those ones. All those ones were just child's play.
So you people did not have split sheets, Bankulli?
At that time, how many years ago? I believe we were still very young and naive at that time. Exactly why I could tell you that the first question you asked, you said every artist that want to go into the business, you must understand the business yourself very well. Revenue can be generated not just from streaming alone. You understand? Revenue can be generated not just from performance, doing shows and touring. For example, now there's no touring now in this country or anywhere in the world till probably December. Most major concerts are turning off now. Just this morning, I saw a release from Afro Nation that Afro Nation Portugal is postponed till 2021. So it is like that for most shows. So how are you going to survive as an artist if you don't have other creative ways or creative means of exploiting your talent? Beyond just singing. A lot have made money. Have they invested? Don't let me go into that now. Ask your question.
Yeah, I like where you're taking me to because there's already a reality. For me also, there was a point in time when the show started, I think we had just like 8 episodes or so on ground. And I was thinking on radio, a season is like a quarter, that's 13 weeks. So I'd not done 13 episodes before, we started to go on a lockdown. And I started thinking, what do I do? Do I just stop? do I tell the stations, the radio stations that, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't provide content? So for music artists, what do you suggest that they do? How do they move forward?
Let me start from radio. Let me start from radio, then I'll go to artists.
Okay.
It is good that this COVID-19 happened, because for quite some time, about 6 to 7, 10 years now, radio has not broken any artist, especially in Nigeria. Radios have always been at the backbone. It is when the artists have blown on the street, maybe 6 months after, radio will now start playlisting them. It has happened in Nigeria. I can begin to mention names. That it now began to look very awkward that they are not catching up. It's sad, you know. I can begin to mention names, and you know all the names, you know. We are talking of Small Doctor. Small Doctor have blown on the street, on social media, on the internet. Months after, radio now started playing his song as if it just came out. In the same country, what could have happened? Because they've not been able to, you know, that paradigm shift, been able to position their radio stations with what is happening on the reality. You know of Hot 97 FM in America.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You know of Ibro.
Yes, I do. I follow
Ibro
him.
is a presenter on Hot 97 FM. You only know about Ibro from Hot 97 FM. Why? Because every radio program they do, they actually blog it. And because they do that, a lot of people look forward to watching what they blog. But simultaneously, this same thing you are doing is what they were doing. And they've been doing it for almost how many years now? That's why you have people like Shalaman. They are following. There are millions of people that follow them, because it is the same value that they put in that radio station. They call it simulcast, right? They film it for TV. They film it for online. They film everything looks well packaged. You are doing it too. I've been watching this your celeb stuff. That's what you do. You understand what I'm saying? How many radio stations do that? But rather, you just find individual radio ops. They have long numbers on radio, and there's no coherence. There's no coherence between their image and where they're coming from. So what happens to radio? Radio continues to suffer. You understand what I'm saying? It's just being in tandem. It's just understanding that you cannot do with social media platforms. It's been like that for almost 7-10 years. You ask the question, as old I am, how come I am compliant with what is going on? It's because I take mind into it. It's simple. It is the same time that you're using to pick your phone call that you can send out the social media. Just employ creatives there. You know, people that can edit content, put it out real time, put sponsored ad, you know, invite, you know, appreciable guests, put it like that. When we started this session, the number was low, but now it's increasing. You understand what I'm saying? And by the time it is well edited, imagine I'm in your radio station, the sound, everything well, you know, there's so many radio ops like that. You have Big Boy show in LA like that. You know, the Big Boy's image is tied to radio. And it is real time. It is not when Tekashi has done his madness finish. 3 weeks after, radio will now be reporting it.
Okay, Bankulli. So you were going to answer the part about artists that they should translate this to their career. Yes, that was where you were.
It is the same thing that has affected a lot of, you know, older artists that we've known in the past. Yeah. You know, that have done great music too, that we all loved. The question is, how come they are not relevant now? They are not relevant now because they've not been able to transcend their star power into that social media status. It's easy. It's just being compliant. It's having the right set of people around you. I remember social media, I was not involved at some time, you know, when it all started. But Bizu, I will say it here, right and clear. Bizu was the first person that said, Bankulli, you have to open a Twitter account now. People need to communicate with you. They respect you. I said, okay, yeah. And I open it. And I remember another time, you know, when I saw the Instagram, I joined. You understand? I joined Snapchat. It takes nothing out of me. It is the same phone. It is the same data. You know, we're on Thriller too. I'm on TikTok too. In as much as I cannot act, but at least I can, you know, promote my music. You know, there's no shame in that because this is the reality of what the world is what the world is turning into. You know, by being compliant at the right time is always very important. It is not when it has driven past you that you now be chasing it. Sometimes we chase it and you be tired. I bet this thing, Jare, this thing, Jare. Meanwhile, that complaint, you're only shortchanging yourself. Because now, unlike before, you have the opportunity to talk to and to sell your music directly to your fans via your mobile phone. Before it used to be through the label. You understand what I'm saying? Now you have your phone. Just get a super fast, cute phone that has nice videos and nice picture, picture quality, so that you can, you can communicate with people. That's it.
I also wanted to button where you talked about Small Doctor. So I have noticed that I listen to a lot of music that are actually great music, but they are not music for radio. They're great, like they're fantastic songs, but they're not. It could be the production quality. If it's actually not on request, it's not something we'll be very eager to play on our own. Okay, so there's some songs that they're not. Yeah.
There's a radio program. I don't want to mention the station, but the radio Hope is very popular in Lagos. He normally do something. When they send him those kind of music, he will say play or not play. And he will throw it open to people. They will rate it 1 to 10. If they pick it, he will put it and place it on placement. Put it and they will push it. Doesn't need to know the artist. You see, when you do all that, then you sort of like, you give them a sensitization. There's a lot of situations like that people, especially we young people in Africa, they need a lot of people to just motivate them. Give them the right information, and they will figure things out. Unlike, it's not just money. Yes, people might not be getting it right, but they want to get it right. I'm sure as they are listening to this program, a lot of new coming, building up artists, I'm sure they are listening. That presentation matters. If you want to present your music to radio stations, you have to come clean. You have to have a profile. You have to have an electronic press kit. Well done. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? Go and pay a graphics guy to design it, put your picture, look nice. Yoruba people, they say the really scene is on the lojo, meaning the way you present yourself is the way people will address you. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a music industry junk. It is music business. People pay for their life. People have built life. People have buy mansions. People have bought helicopter and private jet with it. So it is not a joke. So everybody see it as a serious deal. So you can't come with one short change and just think that that auntie, if she sees my sad face, she will play my music. It's not like that.
That's if she sees my sad face. All right, Bankulli, quickly before we round up the show, what advice do you have for people that want to be talent managers, that want to be business managers or road managers?
The question I will always say is that for some of us, for people like us, when we learn all these things, so just the grace of God. I'm a graduate of University of Ibadan. I studied zoology, and yes, I have education. It's not just that, music management, talent management has more. You understand? You must have patience. You must learn, human management. You must learn time management. You must have common sense, and that common sense. When I mean common sense, I mean super common sense. You must build a relationship. You must build platform. You must build capacity. All these things that I'm talking about. It's not something you will learn in one day. But beyond that, I believe if you really want to be an artist manager, a talent creator or developer or what have you, you must educate yourself. Not just reading books about it. I'll give you an example. I have a friend, I have a university. It's an online university that you can go there and learn anything you want to learn about entertainment business.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bankulli. I do appreciate this. I have learned a lot too, actually. Yeah, I've been able to understand, the mind of talent managers with regards to, music distribution and how they feel about response from radio and all of that, which is good. It's a conversation we should have. I think we should have more conversations like this, even in, larger fora, really.
Of course,
we should.
Of course.
Yes. Thank you very much, Bankulli. It was nice having you on the show. And
thank you very much.
Sometime soon.
Thank you very much, Ife. Thank you very much.
We're going to sign off for your song called Bimiro. You featured World. Why did you decide to choose World as, the artist to feature on that song?
I'll quickly tell you the story of that song. In fact, I'm going to post a video. I just dig out the video. I actually filmed us before or after we recorded the song in the studio. I was with my friend, my brother, my friend Malik Berry, at his place in London, and Nonso Amadi came visiting, and we were together for like he came in around 6 p.m. in the evening, and he was traveling back to Canada the next day. So we were together from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. before he left. You can imagine. So within that time, he played almost about 50 beats. Him and Malik, they were vibing. I was there in the studio, I was just, contributing myself. We were all laughing, talking, he was saying how much he respects Malik, and Malik was talking how much he respected himself. Then out of, I think around, yes, I got it right, around 2 a.m. or 2:11 a.m. because I watched the video. And this was November 2019. That's when we recorded the song. So Malik stepped out of the room. He went to the bathroom. And as he was stepping out, Nonso played that beat of that Gbemiro beat. And from where I laid on the floor, I stood up and I started singing, Gbemiro, Gbemiro, Gbemiro. It was just the vibe of the song. And Nonso was like, wow, that's dope. That's fresh. So we began to scramble. We recorded the song. And we played the song once. And when we were replaying the song, Malik now came in. Malik was like, oh, this is beautiful. I said, yeah, so now here we just do this, That was all. He only played the song once for me that day. Now, this was November 2019. December, January, February, March.
You sat on it?
Yeah, it was. I didn't even ask him about the song. Now, the plan when I recorded it was that don't say you will jump on it, so it will be me featuring you. I wanted to use it for the documentary that I'm working on, Chronicles of Afrobeat. So we wanted to put it there. Yeah. Now, but Nonso one day I was now talking to Nonso, how far now? So saying that, so he was not telling me stories about that song, actually that song is spiritual, now you listen to it. I'm like, which song? He said, that song we recorded that day. I said, hey, send it, let me hear it. So when he sent it and I listened to it, I'm like, so this was what we recorded that day. Now my mind is somewhere else now. And I said, okay, don't worry, I'll find somebody to put on it. So I tried 2 people and I see they were full dragging. I'm like, nah, no serious. So I hit up Shizzy that I need to speak with Wald. I've never spoken to Wald at all. So I said, Shizzy, where is Wald? Yes. So Shizzy said, Wald today now. I said, tell him I tell him I have a song and I want him to jump on it. He said, Baba, that's not a problem now. Send me his number. I called him. How are you, Wald? You good? Let me send you this song. Listen to it. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. So when I sent the song to Wald, fortunately for me, when he was going to replay the song back, he played it in front of his mom. You understand? As he was replaying, he was trying to preview the song. He previewed it in front of his mom. And according to Wald, he said, my mom loved this song. She started dancing. So I'm like, oh, he said, okay, hold on to me one thing. So I said, God, don't catch you. So he said, Bankulli, I love the song. I'll record the song. And in 2 days, he recorded the song, sent it back. I forwarded it to Nonso. Nonso engineered, there's something about that song that a lot of people do not know. The engineering, expertise on the song was from Nonso Amadi himself, and he did a lot of justice to it, sat on it, cleaned it, killed it, and he sent it back. And by the time I got the master version, the same way you're feeling, I know how people will feel, music should be like that. Yes, it works sometimes. Yes, it doesn't work sometimes. But for me, I believe at this time, a lot of people need hope. A lot of people need confidence. You might not, some people might not understand the lyrics, but it feels very, very reassuring, from what the vibe tells, And I hope and I pray that God will give us more strength and power to do more.
Amen. Thank you so much, Bankulli, for all of this. And we're going to sign off with the song, Baby Ro. It's coming from Bankulli and it does feature World. Thank you very much. It was great having you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right. You've been listening to Celeb Stopover. Thank you very much for staying tuned to this episode of the show. And I should promise you a fresh edition will come your way next week. Meanwhile, big shout out to my team, my very exciting, adorable team. And that's starting off with Unbeaten. If you check out at I Am Unbeaten on any social media platform, you would find him. He's a music producer. He's fantastic. He's going to make sure that the sound for this is dope. Yes, he's going to make sure it is fantastic. So yes, big shout out to you. I Am Unbeaten as a sound person for this show. And definitely the video is going to be on YouTube. Subscribe to the Celeb Stopover YouTube channel to watch a replay in case you were not able to watch this. So Dale Greenex is going to make sure that this video is good enough for that. Also, big shout out to the publicist, Deji Plug. If you Google Celeb Stopover, Google Ife Ajagbe, you would realize that his posts about this show and my brand is just up there. So he understands search engine optimization. Big shout out to you, Deji Plug, as a publicist of this show. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Bye-bye. Thanks to all those that joined the live video. Hi, guys. Hi.
Orí mi máa jẹ ń já kulẹ̀, gbé mi ró. Gbé mi ró, gbé mi ró, gbé mi ró. Orí mi máa jẹ ń já kulẹ̀, gbé mi ró. Má jẹ́ ṣìnà, má jẹ́ dààmú nírìn àjò ayé mi. Olùgbàlà ọmọ aráyé. Orí mi máa jẹ ń já kulẹ̀, gbé mi ró. Gbé mi ró.